All right, so today I'm going to come at you guys with a quick updated Detroit Lions mock draft. This is going to be 6.0. It's going to be one of my final ones. Version 7 will be out not next week, but right before the draft, probably 2 or 3 days before the draft. But anyway, let's get to this mock draft. First round, the Detroit Lions carry the 8th selection. I have them actually trading down in this mock draft with the New England Patriots. We have connections there with Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. So I believe New England wants to trade up to get TJ Hockenson before another team gets him. So here I have us getting the number 32 selection as well as the number 56 selection in the second round, just because they're moving up so many picks to get him due to Robert Gronkowski's retirement. But anyway, getting on with the mock draft. Round 1, pick 32. I have the Detroit Lions selecting DeAndre Baker, the corner out of Georgia. He plays a very good bump and run, which I know the Detroit Lions like to play. They like to play a lot of man coverage, and DeAndre Baker is one of the best man coverage corners in the draft. And I believe he's just a perfect fit, and also being number 2 with Darius Slay as the number 1 corner. Moving on to the second round, and with pick 43 of the Detroit Lions selecting Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive lineman out of Mississippi State. He is possibly one of the top 5 prospects on the board, but due to health concerns and other issues, he will fall to a day 2 selection. I have the Detroit Lions selecting him. This could also be Montez Sweat because of his heart condition, but Jeffrey Simmons, I believe, is just a little bit better fit. Kind of fits a little bit more of what Matt Patricia likes to do with defensive linemen and scheme fits and whatnot. Moving on to our pick, which we received from the New England Patriots at pick 56. I have us addressing slot receiver here, and that is Paris Campbell, the slot wide receiver out of Ohio State. This kid ran a 4.31 40, excellent route running. He was one of Dwayne Haskins' favorite targets at Ohio State and put up ridiculous numbers. And I just believe he's going to be an excellent, kind of give us what Golden Tate did for us in our offense, because the Lions kind of struggled after they traded him. But I have us getting Paris Campbell there in the second round. Moving on to the third round, I have the Detroit Lions selecting a quarterback here. You guys know that I'm very high on Tyree Jackson. That's who I believe we will get here in the third round. He has actually been interviewed by the Lions 3 times, so I believe he is a very high on their draft board. And with him still being on the board, they don't want to risk losing him, so they pick him up here in the third round at pick 88. Round 4, pick 111. Here we address our offensive line and get Bayu Benchwarel, offensive guard, Wisconsin. I know I slaughtered the name, but this kid, 6'6", 300 pounds plus, very athletic, and he's a very good run blocker, and I believe that's what the Detroit Lions are kind of looking for in a guard after losing TJ Lang this offseason and releasing him and so on and so forth. But that's who I have us getting in the 4th round. Moving on to the 5th. At pick 146, I have us getting a safety here. Mike Bell, safety at Fresno State. He's one of my favorite safeties in the draft. He could go higher in the draft, but in this mock draft, I use drafttech.com kind of as the mock draft and kind of just judge on where they're going. But Mike Bell is available, so I was picking him up. The safety out of Fresno State fills a need, as well as releasing Glover Quinn this past season, so I really like that pick. Moving on to round 6, where we have pick 184. This player was talks of being a first-round talent, but has slid all the way to the 6th round. I don't know why, but Tavon Coney, the linebacker at Notre Dame, is available still here. So I have us selecting him, kind of solidify that linebacking core that we are starting to develop here in Detroit. We did have one of the worst linebacking cores in the league, but I believe that's also because the defensive line didn't get enough pressure. We kind of relied on our linebackers a little bit too much to get that pressure. Moving on to the second pick we have in the 6th round at 204, Miles Boykin, wide receiver at Notre Dame. He does a lot of things that Marvin Jones can do, as well as being a very young talent and being able to add depth to the wide receiver position. I really do believe we are both going to get a slot and a big wide receiver in this draft, and he just he just fits the need here. Moving on to round 7, pick 224, our first of 2 picks. I have us getting Javon Patterson, offensive lineman at Ole Miss. He can play interior, exterior offensive line, mostly guard though. I see him in the league as just a backup, just a little bit more depth. He's a very big guy, and I believe he will help us there. He's 6'3", 307, so that's a pretty good size for an offensive guard. Moving on to the last pick, round 7, pick 229. I have us getting Mark Fields, the corner at Clemson. This just adds depth to the cornerback position because Teez Tabor, we don't know what's going to go on with him or what else we're going to do with corners. We did address that a lot in free agency by signing 2 corners, Justin Coleman and Rashad Melvin, I believe. Can't remember the other guy's name, but I'm sure it's I know his first name is Rashawn. But like, subscribe my channel. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think below. Hit the little bell icon for me. Get your notifications when I upload a new video. But otherwise, I am out. See you guys later.